Hey guys, it's Carl again. It's about 9 p.m. here, Wednesday evening in South Korea, and just wanted to talk to you again. There's been some stuff that I've been thinking about. Also, some people said that my mic was a little too low last time. Sorry, I tried to scale that down so there wasn't any background noise, but I turned it up so it should be easier to hear this time. So yeah, basically what I've been thinking about. Personally, I've been working to transition from what's called a D4 visa, which is a student visa, into an E2 visa, which is foreign language teacher visa. And that takes a lot of different documents and a lot of hard work to get together, especially since I'm kind of in a time crunch right now. Most jobs start the beginning of September, the end of August in that area, and it usually takes about a month to get for the Korean government to get your visa all taken care of. So I need to get an FBI background check, and I also need my diploma, both apostilled by the federal government and sent over here before I can even apply for the visa. This is all stuff I didn't even know about until Monday this week, actually, was when I officially made the decision that I wanted to start teaching English over here. And I mean, that was my original plan for coming over here, but the whole special needs thing came up, and I really enjoyed that. But I'm kind of in a position right now where I need to start supporting myself, and so it makes most sense to teach English. So in my time struggling to get all these papers together and working to find a company that will actually expedite things, luckily Google was my best friend, and I found a place that has a mailing address like 5 minutes from my house in the U.S., and they actually have FBI channeling, which means that you can get your stuff to the FBI in I've already got it back, so it was less than a week. It was like 3 or 4 business days, and they emailed me my results, which normally if you just send it into the FBI, it takes 3 to 4 months. And then on top of that, once you get the stuff back, you have to get it apostilled, and that normally takes another 2 or 3 months. So I'm getting everything done within 2 weeks, which is crazy. It's a little expensive. All said and done, it's probably going to be about $250. But I'd say that's definitely worth it when you're talking about 2 weeks versus 6 months, and being able to start a job by the end of next month at the latest, to be able to support myself. So that's just kind of a background on what I'm going to be talking about. I'll try to make the video shorter than it was last time. I didn't realize it was 15 minutes long. That's kind of crazy. Time flies when you're just thinking and talking. But anyways, so my point was that I basically forgot my purpose here within the last week, and it's crazy because my entire purpose has been to devote my life to God and to live for God. I feel that there's a lot of people who say they're Christians, but they don't live as Christ called us to live. And I could speak a long time on that, but the simple matter is that, I'm doing my best to go out there and live as Christ lived and as he called us to live, to love others and to be involved in their lives and not just sit at a distance and say that I'm a good person. So that's the whole point of being here. That's why I've been working with special needs kids. That's why I came to Korea in the first place. I felt that God put it in my heart to come here, and so that's what I wanted to do. Yet through all this, even just short period of a week where I had a time crunch, where I just had a project that I wanted to get done really bad, all of a sudden I completely forgot about God. My focus was finding the right job for myself. My focus was being prepared as soon as the documents came to me, that I could send them out so that I would have them back as soon as possible, so that I could start the visa process, so that, hopefully I could get my visa back before, the beginning of September, so I could start a job as soon as possible, because there's other little issues, I guess, with, at the end of August, I'm going to have to move into another dorm again here because the school semester starts back up and the students come back in. So I'll have like 2 or 3 weeks where I'm kind of in limbo, where I have to figure out with the program here If I'll be able to stay in the dorm, if I'll have to pay for the dorm, if they'll let me work and just kind of do like a month thing and then I go. So anyways, there's been so many little things like that, and it's so easy to get distracted from your faith. And that's my entire point here, is that I became distracted, even though I have made it a point to put my faith and living for God as the first priority in my life. Literally, nothing else matters to me. And I know, during my time here, I've learned that God will provide. I've learned to trust God, which is one of the hardest things you can possibly do. It's, you can't see Him. You can feel Him in your life, but it's really difficult for humans to trust something they can't see and they can't converse with. And so we start to become dependent on things like money and our own personal ability. And we think those are the things that are going to get us somewhere in life, instead of realizing that God is here for us and He's going to make the difference for us. And He's completely provided for me while I was here. And so forgetting about that for even a week, I realized that tonight. I spent some time alone just thinking and walking, and I was like, man, I have come to believe and to have confidence in the fact that He will take care of me. And yet here I am focusing on something else. And it was like a little microcosm of what I feel like most people go through in their lives, where work becomes super important because you got this deadline and you have this project you have to finish. And then once that's finished, then there's another project, and things just kind of, tie into each other. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, it's 10 years down the line. And what have you been doing? Oh, great. You got a great house. You probably have a family, a nice car you're taking care of. But then your secure lifestyle is threatened by acting out on your faith. And that's so difficult. And how do you transition from, focusing on work that hard to putting God first and foremost? And personally, I don't have an answer for that. I mean, all I can tell you is to trust God and that He will provide for you. But me saying that isn't going to really help you build the confidence in doing that. You're going to have to go out and do it yourself. So baby steps. I mean, I was in a position where I was able to jump straight in and just say, I trust God. I'm going to South Korea. Let's do it. A lot of people don't have that. And so basically, my advice is to do what you can to take steps up. Maybe it's a soup kitchen. Maybe it's, volunteering time or talking to, the homeless guy down the street, or, whatever it may be. Just start to display the characteristics that Christ called us to. So that's the basic point about that. It's so easy to be distracted from our purpose. And I just wanted to talk about that because it's something I realized tonight, and it just really frustrated me. And then on top of that, I started to feel like I was alone, that I was lonely. And another thing that I've been so distracted here, I've always had people around me, things to do, and this is the first time where I've really kind of felt everybody else is busy. I have to figure out what I need to do on my own. And being such a social person, I've always needed somebody else to do something with. I'm not really a loner. Like, I can do things alone, obviously, but I would rather have somebody with me. And so I realized that that's when I start to think and do more destructive things. Like, that's when I'll order a giant pizza and eat it all by myself, or I'll have like a handle of alcohol and try to drink as much as I can, or some, just stupid things like that that are just completely destructive. But for some reason in my nature, I feel like that's how I'm going to be fulfilled when I'm by myself. I don't know if it's, something where I'm taking it out on myself for some reason, or, that I feel that I need to punish myself, or, I'm sure there's plenty of psychological explanations, but the truth of the matter is that I need to focus on God, that I need to focus on my relationship with Christ, and that's so important and so visible at this point, where I realized, I was going to go out and get some dinner, and I realized I just needed to come back to the dorm and just read some Bible and pray and just realize that He is all I need. He's the one who's going to sustain me. Instead of filling my stomach with earthly food, I needed to fill myself with daily bread, with the Bible. So that's what I've been doing. Those were the thoughts for tonight, and it just kind of came out of nowhere, so I wanted to share with you guys. But hopefully this video isn't too long. But if you have any thoughts or comments, please comment below. And I would love to hear from you guys, and there will be a new video soon. Thanks so much.